Hi, I'm Jeanette, the North End Coach. So glad to have you here at the start of a new series, which I am calling Career Camp, in honor of where we sit seasonally in the year, where there's a lot of camping starting, there are camps, and it seemed appropriate to have a career camp. And this career camp is going to be focused on career transition, particularly transition for people who are in that mid-career to later career zone, who are really feeling burnt out and needing and desperately wanting a change and yet not knowing how to move forward with it. So we are going to explore that in a camp-like setting together over these coming weeks. And what I want to start with today is just this concept of burnout and some initial steps that you can take should you be in this particular camp. Maybe that's too much. Anyway, okay. So how do you know that you might be in this feeling of burnout? Well, I have been there myself, so I can describe some of the symptoms to you. And in the course of my career coaching business with my clients, this is a common symptom. So what it feels like to be burnt out is like just this complete lack of interest and energy and motivation around the things at work that used to be so inspiring and didn't take a lot of motivation. It just was sort of intrinsically there. You were self-motivated. I was self-motivated around these things. And then little by little, or maybe, in one big push, sort of it all evaporates. And then you're left with this feeling of dread and anxiety and angst because you are still needing to fulfill the requirements of the position you're in. And all of the energy has disappeared. So you just have to just push and pull yourself through that process. And it just can feel so exhausting that the idea of even taking a step toward, let's say you're going to think, well, maybe what I need to do is find a different job. So the first step commonly when you're thinking about a new job is, well, I need to update my resume. But if you notice that that sounds like you would rather do anything else rather than take on that work, or it's just you have no idea how you could even put anything on that resume because your mind is a blank slate, that's probably a sign to you that, you're in significant burnout at this point in time, and updating your resume is not the ideal place to start. So what I want to offer to you today is a place to start that it can feel just a little bit lighter and easier to get a little traction in this area. And that is rediscovering what your skills, your interests, and your values are in a way that isn't just staring at the blank page or, the need to be updated page of your resume. And what I'm going to recommend here is a website. It's actually a website of the U.S. Department of Labor. It is called careeronestop.org. And I'll put this in the description box so that you can link directly to it. But on this website, there is just so much information. But what I'm going to recommend here is that you take the initial step of there are 3 assessments that are offered on this website, completely free. There's no charge to it. And they're not heavy assessments. They're not going to be something that takes you all day to do. But each of these assessments is going to deliver back some information to you that will be helpful at this particular point in time when you're feeling so burnt out and suspecting that you need to make some sort of a career transition. What I love about what this website does is it links to the overall set of data around all of the different occupations, job titles, job descriptions, the outlook for the different jobs, compensation levels. Ultimately, you can trace out actually to career openings, but that's not what we're going to do at this stage. At this stage, all I'm saying is, hey, take a look at these assessments and see if in the preliminary results that you get, there's a little bit of a nugget of inspiration and energy and motivation that might come back around moving forward with this process of moving through the burnout and really figuring out the first steps of transition. I'm going to come back in future videos and really dive into this in a step-by-step manner. But for this week, let's not get overloaded. For this week, this is the first step. Take a look at those assessments, and if you want to, jump into comments and let me know what you find. Is there something interesting out there that you didn't realize, from the particular point that you have come from at this point? Maybe it's a little bit of a new bit of information. Maybe it's some confirmation of your interest, etc. But I think it's going to give a little bit of fresh air. So that's it from Career Camp for this week. I'll be back with more information as we navigate over the course of Career Camp this idea of transition. All right, that's it for now. We'll talk to you soon. Have a terrific week.